Welcome back, everyone. All right. So we're in an ending. So spoilers for a visual novel, obviously. We're not getting straight into it. There's a little bit more. Welcome back, Hero. So this path so far, we've been helping out Heidi sort and sell her occult items. Welcome back, Cassidy. Yui. Yeah, you are. And we've also been delving more into the Eldritch stuff ourselves. We are a little bit more unhinged. We are agreeing with our first and haunted college friend a lot more this time. Welcome back, Isa. Last time we were able to divert the disaster occurring in this game, I don't think we're gonna have such good luck this time. How long have you been there? We need to talk. It was an incredibly ominous conversation starter. Okay, here. Peered down at the snoozing parsnip. Judging by his sniffing nose and munching noises, he was dreaming about food. My place. She started walking off. It sounded serious. I went with La Rose. The cottage could wait a little longer. Followed La Rose to her cottage. Things felt really serious. Did she know what I knew about Parsnip? We are convinced that an overly friendly rabbit who doesn't know any boundaries is actually a servant of the King in Yellow. If they add you on Steam, they can send you a deadlock invite. You've been investigating and working on this, Meeper. You're so freaking sweet. Also, welcome back. So, Parsnip has given you one of those strings too, then? How long had she been watching us? Wait, is that what this is about? Kind of. There was a long silence while my brain tried to process things. It's just you seemed really intense. I was kind of worried. I mean, well, it is important. A bit. A yarn. Do you have one as well? I have at least 20. When I woke up this morning, there were 3 poking through my letterbox. I was concerned for her. Sorry. I stumbled over the word that is there and the word that should be there. To receive one of the cursed gifts from the King in Yellow was bad enough, but 20? The Rose seemed to live in blissful ignorance of their true evil, at least. I decided it was kinder to let her stay that way. Did I say welcome back, Isa? I meant to. I'm considering using them to tie a makeshift... Haha. Wait, was that a joke? Sure. You're cute. So far, all I've been able to do is hoover them up and burn the bags. Like my students, Parsnip is not receptive of criticism. So anyway, I wanted to ask for your help. I really need to get rid of Parsnip. So I was wondering, are you trying to get me to kill Parsnip? It's weird, sure, but that's a little much, don't you think? What? No, don't be ridiculous, no. I was just gonna, ask if you'd, I don't know, throw him in a bush and tell him to leave me alone. I stared at La Rose, slightly dumbfounded. You want me to assault him? What? I continued to stare at her, dumbfounded. Not badly. You've spoken to him, right? Just push him into a bush really carefully and be like, hey, leave La Rose alone or the boys will get you. And that should be enough to spook him. Are you okay? I am fine. Look, living next door to Parsnip is slowly killing me. I used to drink 30, maybe 40 units of alcohol a day. Now I'm up to maybe 60. Look, will you just give it a go? I can't live like this much longer. Wad. Well, obviously we're going to agree to throw Parsnip into a bush. Okay, I'll just scare him a little. I don't know how she's going to do it. The boys. Welcome back, Sybil. Monster. This is the monster playthrough. Look, he's a servant of the king in yellow. Totally. Enough to make him stop bothering you. Exactly. It won't take much to spook him. He'll be fine. It's not gonna work anyway. I've already, like, told him to stop bugging me, and I told him the food was terrible, like the worst I'd ever had. Nothing phases him. Wait here. I'll get you a disguise so he can't take you to court. Oh my god, are you gonna get me a box with a face drawn on it? Yeah. I want to put all of my quotes on a timeline. And, you know, you feel like that position is taken, I'm sorry. It's been taken for a little while. Don't put a box with a face over it on. Wouldn't be able to tell who you are. Aw, I would never. I would never confuse my number one toy like that. Also, hi Banana. Welcome back. Not that Parsnip knows what court is. The rose disappeared into her house, eventually returning with a big cardboard box. Here, a mask. Oh my god, it is! That's a box. Yes. But look, I cut some eye holes in it, so it's a mask. Oh my god. I walked down the lane, trying not to admit to myself that I was only doing this so I didn't have to go back into that evil basement. Parsnip had clearly woken up after his sugar coma. I could see him outside his cottage, talking to his daffodils. He seemed to be stringing friendship yarn around them and congratulating them on winning the trial. Oh my god. No. Actually, Trixie's right. Parsnip might be kind of fucked up. It's the same box! Am I really doing this? I approached Parsnip, praying he didn't see through my disguise. Hi, Trixie! She is, in story, an albino rat, wearing the same outfit she was wearing earlier. And her eyes are clearly visible and huge. Please, no bad words. I freaked out and claimed my name was Gustav, or threw Parsnip into the bush and ran. Our cover's blown. Parsnip could take us to court. If he figures out what court is. He could take us to Bay Court, probably. Threw Parsnip into a bush and ran. About to throw Parsnip into a nearby bush when I realized there were none nearby. Panicking, I pushed Parsnip over really gently. Just like, eh. He fell over as lightly as a feather. Leave La Rose alone? I don't know who that is, but okay, haha. What do you mean you don't know who that is? He calls her Rosie. I stared into his unblinking eyes. I'm going to go now. See you later. Oh, okay, see you later, Trixie. I shuffled away awkwardly without turning away. Parsnip just stared at me the whole time, grinning his usual grin. Eventually, I shuffled far enough to reach La Rosa's cottage. I accidentally walked backwards into her, much to her displeasure. Hey, careful. Did you do it? Kind of. I don't think he really got what was going on, and he knew who I was. Oh. Well, thanks for trying. I better get painting. I'll see you around. I decided I'd been fucking around for too long, and reluctantly got on with my business. I stood in front of the abandoned cottage, the gateway to Carcosa. We didn't call it that last time, I think. Needed to make sure Nikita hadn't done anything here. This cottage might be the only place I could stop her. Upstairs seemed pretty much as I'd left it. I knew I was going to have to go downstairs, not a fun thought. Memories of my last visit still swam in my mind fuzz. It was time to accept my fate and return to the basement where this all started. The skulls sat in the same position as before. I almost started to believe I really had imagined them speaking to me. But before I could step any further into the room, they snapped around to face me. My heart sunk as I realized returning here was a mistake. I've got the eyelashes again. Another guest. The little rat returns. Hello, friend. I was frozen, whether by shock or by the ghost's design, I don't know. Please, I'm not here to bother you. Your friend, yes. The deer was here, searching for a gate she found. Already present, the yellow sign. Creator I am. Forever, never to be removed, no matter how much I tear at its paint. Eyelashes, yay! They're so cute! The gate is present, it needs only a key. No more preparations are needed, only the moonlight of a full moon, if what the deer says is true. Hi, Seamass! It's a cute rat, like the rat. Aw. She is. She's so cute and lickable. So fashionable. They are. A believable claim, for I too require tonight's white light. Reunite, broken body no more. If the deer speaks true, then endless ashen terrors crawling forth from the lake. The wrapped pointed fingers of the king leading them. The decay will spread, the rot. Then I was too late to prevent Nikita performing her ritual. It would be up to me in person, a battle I would probably lose. Spent a lot of time studying the moon. It's pretty important to a lot of myths, especially around here. Knew very well the next full moon was tomorrow. Yeah, see, she says tomorrow, but then they also say tonight a lot. Hello, Seamass, how are you doing? Okay, well, that's all I need to know, so I'll just be out of your scalp bone. I started to run from the basement, but leave not, little white rat. I stopped in my tracks, and not by choice. A golden glow clung to my body, holding me totally still. Moonbeam, Heidi, Trixie, Glimmer, Smith, all one. What do you mean, all one? You will return what you stole. My blood froze. This ghost knew about me and Heidi? It knew about Moonbeam? I had robbed it. I remembered that night in the alley, the golden eyes of the matted figure. I remembered the glint of recognition when the figure laid eyes on my face. You? The grimoire. The shop. Return there. Finish our deal, or the hyena will perish. The skulls shattered into dust. Any evidence of their existence turned into a fine bone powder that joined the spores and dust in their toxic dance. You good? Just down the street to grab some meds and noms? That's wonderful. Hope the noms were excellent. And the meds were exactly what you needed. I was thrown to the ground as the gold mist floated out of the basement like snow in a breeze. I climbed to my feet, my head ringing. I must have hit it when I fell. I made my way outside and caught my breath. There was no time for anything else. Right now I had to help Heidi. I tried to phone her, but there was no answer. It looked like I was going to have to run all the way to town. Moms were excellent. That's fantastic. The windows of Heidi's shops were blinded, and its sign read closed. Someone didn't want intruders. My heart dropped. Was I too late? Summoning all my courage, I burst inside. Heidi! Oh shit! I was too late. Heidi had been pinned to the spot, and her weapons were discarded on the floor. The shop gently shook with the same force that had infested the abandoned cottage on Daffodil Lane. It looked like the boxes from the office had been pulled into the shop. Items were thrown from them as if the ghost was searching for something. On the floor lay a lifeless, matted figure, their bodies still hidden beneath their thick cloak. Trixie, get out of here! The white one arrives, the pale rat. Thank you, friend. Placate our associate. Aid me, and all shall be fine. I was terrified. This had gotten out of hand. Heidi, calm down. They need our help, then they'll leave us alone. They promised. I wasn't sure if I believed them, but it was my only way out. Oh no. Oh no, Heidi's been pinned by a ghost. Please, put her down, she'll behave. Right, Heidi? I gulped, she looked pissed. Fine. Very well, behave, little hyena. Heidi dropped to the floor as the golden glow pulled away from her. Her bat and taser lifted into the air as if yanked up on strings. Sorry. Tag yourself, chat. Second one, certainly. Heidi's weapons were thrown into the air, the bat splintered, scattering shards of woods across the shop as the taser seemingly imploded and fell on the floor with a dull thud. The deal, rat. The book stolen by you. The book, the spell, the body, reunite. The voice boomed into my head. I don't know what you mean. The book I sent you out with the other night, the one you didn't give them. It's some old spell book, supposedly written by the Salt Sisters. It's in one of the boxes. Okay, Heidi, you stay here and I'll find it. Marched through one of the boxes. There were a lot of books, but none seemed to be by the Salt Sisters. I could feel the invisible eyes of the ghostly entity burn into me like hot coals as I fumbled through the junk. You're Alibop Pally? Whoa. It's been you the whole time? I'm sorry for everything I've done to you. Hurry. Do not waste time, rat. Look, I'm trying, okay? Heidi, you didn't really organize this stuff well. That's because I was going to burn it. Sorry, it might have helped right now is all. Not really the time for you to be bitching about my organization, Missy. It was you all along? Oh no. Do not bicker. The mask. Find it, small rat. Small white rat. I don't even know what it looks like. Wait, I'm sorry, do you want a mask or a book? It's black and old. Fortunately, there was only one book in amongst the scattered artifacts that fit that description. Oh, okay, here it is. She could have told me that at any time. That time when Alibot was rigged to make the winner of the trivia game, your machination. It was making you the winner. It all fits. My fingers trembled as I picked up the book, The Grimoire of the Salt Sisters. It looked old enough to be the original and radiated malevolence from its crumbling pages. Yes, the book, the forbidden words, the sisters, the body reunites. I don't know what it is you want. This book is so long and Before I could finish, the golden mists of the ghost plucked the book from my hands and flicked through the pages impossibly fast. The pages stopped turning. The voice boomed louder than before. The spell cast the body. Do it now. Do it now. The shop seemed to shake with each word. A cyber Draculia plushie burst in a shower of wool and lead. The sound of cans imploding boomed from inside the vending machine. Speak it now. Speak it now. The voice repeated into my head, drumming the orders into me. As my mind began to cloud once more, the page seemed to list the words to some terrible spell. I dare not write them here. I read them aloud, trying as hard as I could not to understand what I said. With each word, my mind ached. Stories always talk about the price for performing magic, and I could see now it was no lie. I can only hope my actions that day do not cost me my soul, if indeed I still have one. As the last words of the spell left my lips, the shop began to violently shake. Trixie, get back! Heidi pulled me to her, and we ducked behind the shop counter. I could see in her eyes that after hearing that dark spell from me, Heidi felt afraid of me, even if she hid it. The room pulsed with golden light. I shut my eyes, but that was not enough to keep the gold from seeping in. Whispers filled my head, the regal speech of Carcosa, descriptions of the forgotten era and inklings of forbidden knowledge. Threats against a nameless enemy. Fear. The matted figure's tormented mind. Then, as suddenly as the process had begun, it was over. The room was silent. The golden light was absent. Is it over? Oh look, stay still. I was glad Heidi had volunteered. I dreaded to think what we might see. Heidi didn't say anything. Whether that was good or bad, I wasn't sure, but I decided to look. In the center of the room, standing with their own muscles and smiling at us with a wicked grin, stood the matted figure. Ah, my friends. You have been most useful. The bargain is complete. The figure began to leave the shop, walking clumsily on their weak legs. And you aren't coming back. The figure paused, their back to us, looked over their shoulder, straight into Heidi's eyes. You have my word. Before either of us could respond, the figure stumbled out of the shop. Heidi sighed and patted me on the shoulder. You okay, Trixie? I wasn't. I knew what walked underneath that cloak. Even imagining it was enough to make me shiver. The look upon the warped face of a sheep was an awful thought. How could such a creature have come to exist? And yet I knew that it was as natural as I. Which begged the question, why were no other sheep like it? I shook the thoughts from my head. I just wanted this to be over. Yeah, I'm fine. Heidi looked at the mess of books, amulets, and other tat thrown across the room with a sigh. That was a week of organizing down the drain. So, I guess I need to clean this up. It's all kind of lost its charm now that I know some of it is actually evil incarnate. You okay to help me? We can burn it. I checked the time. It would be a little bit longer until the moon was out. I can help for a bit, sure. Heidi, this is deeply important. Can I have your weird mask? Can I have your moonbeam mask? I don't really fancy going outside yet anyway. I'd rather give that person more time to get as far away as possible. For sure. Come on, let's get this stuff packed up and flammable. We started rooting through the mess. It was a lot easier to sort through it now that it all just went straight into the burning box. Sorry for, ruining everything for you, Heidi. I fucked up pretty badly. Hey now, it's not your fault. I shouldn't have gotten you involved in this weird stuff. I shouldn't have gotten myself involved in this weird stuff. I think it's time I go straight lace and start running this shop properly. Really? Heidi thought for a moment. Nah. I'll probably just sell it and get a job as a bouncer. A really violent bouncer. I wasn't sure if she was joking or not. How do you fancy free entry to whatever club I work at? I think I'll pass on that. Yeah. Thanks, though. What about your Moonbeam stuff? Will you keep that for your Dungeons and Fungeons games? Geez, so you. I, at any given time, feel like both of these individuals. One or the other, or both at the same time. He picked the Mask of Delilah Moonbeam off the floor. Ah, heck, I can't burn this. Kinda special to me. Started packing it away into the keep box. Hey, Heidi. I know it's a big after all my fuck-ups, but do you think I could maybe have the mask? Heidi looked at the mask. Sure, Trixie. It's a present, okay? To make up for all the times I yelled at you and stuff. You can wear it to your graduation and totally prank everyone. We fixed up the shop for a while. It was a real mess. Like some sort of Trixie Heidi hybrid mix. I'm timid and scared and aggressive and with it. At some point I realized everything that had happened made me completely forget Nikita. Well, then why did you ask for the mask? What a wonderful state of affairs. I like to imagine myself as a pretty wonderful state of affairs. Glanced out the window. The full moon hung low in the sky. I knew Nikita would be heading to Daffodil Lane soon. Maybe she was already there? I felt bad leaving Heidi, and if it wasn't for the pit in my stomach I got when I imagined Nikita, intentionally or not, releasing the horrors of Carcosa into our world, I would have gladly stayed. Hey Heidi, I have to go do something. Will you be okay here by yourself? Huh? You need to do something? At like midnight after what we just saw? Yeah, I'm trying to stop another calamity. What's that important? Is everything okay, Trixie? Oh my gosh. Yeah, it's fine. It's just something important. I need to help out my friend. She's in trouble is all. Yeah, I mean, you help me, right? Maybe I can help you help them? I wanted to say yes. With Heidi there, maybe I could stop Nikita. And yet I couldn't let myself be weak and bring her along. I couldn't be a coward and drag Heidi into something worse than what she'd already experienced because of me. No, this was something I had to do alone. A ride would be appreciated. Look. No, Heidi, it's okay. It's nothing serious. It's just a private thing, you know? Uni stuff. Yeah? Nothing I can do? Well, a lift to Daffodil Lane might be nice? Lane was quiet. It looked like Nikita hadn't opened the gate. Yet, at least. You're good? Totally. Thank you, Heidi. And thank you for, like, being my friend and stuff. Despite everything that happened, I really liked hanging out with you. Yeah, it's been fun. But hey, it's not like you're going anywhere. I'll see you tomorrow, right? I wasn't sure. I'm sure. You should get to bed or whatever you do at night. I'll be okay here. I just gotta go help my friend. Yeah? I'll see you tomorrow then, bud. You have a good night, okay, Trixie? I love her so much. Yeah, Heidi. I waved her off as her motorcycle sped back towards town. Hope this wouldn't be the last time I saw her. I walked down Daffodil Lane towards the abandoned cottage. It must have been about 1 or 2 in the morning. I feared I was too late, but there didn't seem to be any sign that Nikita had been successful. I walked past Parsnip's cottage. It was quiet. Probably tucked up in bed asleep or whatever he does at night. Of course, I knew his secret. Parsnip was a servant of Carcosa. A follower of the King in Yellow. I knew now that I had to destroy him to save us all. After, or rather if, I dealt with Nikita, the malevolence of Carcosa had to be exorcised from this place to put an end to this once and for all. A reminder. The context of Trixie's narration. She's asking for an extension on a college paper. The abandoned cottage seemed unchanged. Could it be that Nikita hadn't come? My hopes were shattered when I stepped inside. I could hear murmuring from the basement. Nikita was here. Surrounded by candles, she stood upon the yellow sign. She faced away from me, chanting to herself. I think she was trying to repeat some kind of incantation, but she kept tripping up on her words and losing her place. A small crystal sat in the center of the yellow sign, shimmering faintly in the candlelight. I had to talk her out of this madness. I knew I was too weak to fight her after the night's events so far, and I'm pretty sure Nikita was more violent than she looks. Nikita? Oh, Trixie. I'm surprised you dared show your furry little face here. I assumed you'd be in your room drawing bat hentai or something. I have to say I'm impressed. I almost admire your dedication to annoying me. But you're too late. The ritual is in progress. I walk across the cloud waves to my destiny. I mean, right now you're kind of just stood there. Okay, but soon I shall walk across the cloud waves to my destiny. It's not like you're going to stop me. By all means, stay and watch my ascension or fuck off. I don't care. Just, I need to wait a little longer is all. Was Nikita wrong? She seemed confused somehow. Her ritual didn't seem to be going to plan. The candles had almost melted to their bases. How long had she been there? Nikita, stop. The ritual isn't working. You won't get through your gate. How about you come back to uni with me and we can talk this out? No. I will not forfeit my birthright because of your little lies. I will succeed. It's just taking a little longer than it should. I need to prove to the king. I need to show him my faith has not faltered. The one who sits on the broken throne cannot be weak. They cannot be unsure. Maybe I made a mistake. The candle placement must be wrong, or maybe my pronunciation is off. She started flicking through her notepad, desperation building in her face. I was starting to doubt Nikita. I had expected her to summon up a portal of shimmering cloud and step through to her destiny. Instead, she just seemed utterly broken, deranged. Maybe you're wrong? About the ritual? About the throne? About that play? Trixie, shut up! I know what's wrong. The one external variable, it's you. This is a test. I must prove myself, my loyalty. Well, I will not break. I swear to you, my king, from upon the broken throne I shall call forth the dread fleet, the ashen horrors of the Twilight Quarter, and the Iron Watchmen. I shall set them on Trixie and crush her. Now, my king, will you bring me the White Gate? The entire dread fleet against one tiny rat. She was serious. The malevolence in her voice was enough to kill any doubt I had that these were the words of a madwoman. Nikita had to be stopped. This ritual could not be completed. I remembered the things I'd brought with me. They might be the only way to end this without a fight, which I was pretty sure I'd lose, or with Nikita winning, which I'm pretty sure would end with me dead. Sorry, Nikita, but it's too late. I know you haven't been chosen. I tried to sound at least somewhat sure of myself. Nikita looked pissed. That's real cute, Trixie. You finally learned to stand up for yourself. But surely you realize the smart move was to know your place and be my underling. I think I'm okay without that, actually. I was gifted with something you were not. I held the yellow sign high above my head. Nikita smirked. Really, Trixie, the yellow sign? Look around you. She lifted her arms and spun on the spot. The world is covered in the sign. The king is everywhere. He owns us. He was right. He was everywhere. But I didn't let it dissuade me. And he chose me. And yet his servant gave me this before you had even read his play. We don't have the crystal this time, which the crystal and the string was what did it for us before. You were never graced with his sign. You just found those left for others. Nikita looked almost taken aback. He chose me, Nikita. No, he cursed you with it. Maybe she was right. Maybe I certainly wasn't happy to have received the yellow sign. But I could see Nikita was cracking somewhat. Now shut up and tremble in your pathetic little boots as I complete my ritual. Nikita threw her arms into the air. Nothing happened. Gah! Have you thought maybe you're wrong? The ritual isn't working. Nikita, you've been here hours, right? Shut it, Trixie. The King in Yellow chose me as his servant. It was foretold. She lifted the King in Yellow above her head dramatically. The gate will open, and you will pay for your treachery. I'm sorry, Nikita. I'm not so sure the king has chosen you. I pulled the mask out of my bag and held it aloft for Nikita to see. Maybe you just need 2 items. You've been betrayed, Nikita. The king chose me. Mask had come to me indirectly, but that didn't make it any less my right, even if I didn't want it. Nikita laughed at me. She didn't seem convinced. Then a brief flutter in her expression as her eyes focused on the grim visage. In that moment, I knew she recognized the mask. Oh, great king, this can't be. Smith, how did you... Her face broke into a blend of fear and betrayal. I was lied to. She fell to her knees, tears streamed between her fingers. And are you forgetting, Nikita? It was me who was given the play. You had to beg me to give it to you. Trixie, you're the one he chose. None of his whispers were true. He played me like an instrument. Like Carcosa, I have been shamed, my vanity taken and crushed. Trixie, She broke down into tears. Despite everything, I pitied her. Finish the ritual, take your place atop the broken throne. Now, are we messed up enough to do that? But show me mercy, I beg of you. I'm not taking the throne, Nikita. I don't want it. And I think deep down, neither do you. Let's just go back and get some rest. We can pretend this never happened. Obviously, that wouldn't happen. But I wanted to keep her calm. It looked like this terrible week was finally coming to a close. But She pointed meekly at the mask. I looked down at it. Its ruby eyes seemed to glow, a promise of decadence and power beyond the white gate. Inlaid symbols speaking unknowing secrets into my mind. For a moment, I considered that maybe this truly was my destiny. Was this mask always meant to fall into my hands? I shook my head. That wasn't a path I was willing to take. I wanted nothing to do with Carcosa and the false promises of the King in Yellow. We can destroy it. The play too. It's all evil, Nikita. Just look what it's done to us. Let's get back to Uni, okay? Uni. Yeah. Okay, Trixie. Is this drawing different from last time? Because this time we agreed with her that, yeah, the cottage was totally at the center of the standing stones. I don't think so. I slept well that night. Me and Nikita intend to burn the King in Yellow as soon as I finish writing the statement. When I suggested torching the play, I was worried she might snap back into her mania and try to stop me. But she had nothing to say. It was like being outsmarted. It totally crushed any desire Nikita had to keep up her mad charade. I am pretty sure she'll be back to her old self once the election comes along, for better or for worse. That anticlimax so easily. I know, just like... Anyway. I mean, if we didn't have the string, I'm not sure it would have. But maybe it's set, so you've always got enough to... Like, I don't know if you can even receive the string. Or if you can even refuse the string. I'm not sure if they just, like, slip it... If Parsnip just, like, forces you to take it if you say no. She seems to have developed some small amount of modesty. And I swear I can see a hint of respect for me in her eyes. Which I'm not entirely sure I like. It's uncanny. I managed to keep Nikita distracted with her election work. I told her not to write my report. I wanted to do it myself, hence why I'd appreciate some more time to finish it. I never dealt with Parsnip. I just wanted to get Nikita back to uni and get some rest. Dealt with him. I don't intend to return to Daffodil Lane, and I can only hope the King in Yellow's influence over that strange rabbit will end along with the play. I've been swatting off worried calls from Heidi for the last 2 days. I think she knows something is up, but as soon as I submit this form, I'm going to meet up with her. I shall not speak to her of the King of Yellow. That's a secret between me, Nikita, and you. I still need to talk to her about our experience with the matted figure. I have so many questions about that night. About the matted figure, about sheep, and our world's forgotten past. When I remember the knowing, plotting smirk that cruel figure gave us before it left the shop, my heart fills with a dread matched only by one thing. What I read inside the King in Yellow. Despite everything, I have to admit, there is still a temptation to open it, to finish reading The King in Yellow. The end? Great, I'm done. I just need to take this down to the office and I can start work. Okay, this is the part that I was surprised didn't happen, but it was after credits. Trixie, show me your statement immediately. I just realized I'm relying on you not to get me expelled with whatever you wrote in this thing. Oh yeah, this thing. Jeez, Nikita, how did you get in here? The door, Trixie. Wait, what is this? Why are your walls covered in writing? Oh, I hadn't noticed that. Excuse me, but what the fuck? Whatever, Trixie. Either you've lost the plot or this is one of those May-Mays you like and I just don't get. Also, the word limit on that form is like 300. Look, Trixie, I respect you've actually put some effort into something for once in your life. But as well as being written on the walls, this is way too long. What a waste of time. You can clean it up and write your I'll write your less shit statement. One that will actually get read and not get us arrested in the process, because no way have you held back from talking shit about me. I'll just say you had trouble working this week because of your albinism. Because your albinism made working during the heat wave difficult. There, saved you 50,000 words. Okay, Nikita. Oh, trying to get to work. Just as soon as I finish reading all the new Cyber Dracula reboot theories online. We tried to make her as unhinged as possible. She still made it through. You wrote 50,000 words? I'm really curious what the word count of this game is. If it's actually... I have no concept of how long that actually is, to be honest. Despite using words so much. Okay, I don't know if we'll do the last one, even though I'm so intensely interested. But I love this very much. And I am curious to check out some of the other games by Digital Poppy.